In the annals of Christian history, few figures loom as large as Matthew the Evangelist. But what if I told you that this revered saint met a gruesome end at the hands of a weapon you've probably only seen in medieval movies? Stick around as we uncover the shocking truth behind Matthew's demise and the unexpected twist that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about early Christian martyrs. Matthew, also known as Levi, was one of the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ and the author of the Gospel of Matthew. Born in Galilee, he worked as a tax collector before answering the call to follow Jesus. But it's not his life that's got historians buzzing. It's his death. According to ancient traditions, Matthew's final days were spent in Ethiopia, spreading the word of God to the masses. But not everyone was thrilled with his message. Legend has it that the local king, Hyrcanus, was less than pleased with Matthew's influence on his people, especially when it came to matters of the heart. You see, Hyrcanus had his sights set on his niece, Iphigenia, who had taken a vow of chastity inspired by Matthew's teachings. Talk about family drama. The king, in a fit of rage, ordered Matthew's execution. But here's where things get really interesting. The weapon of choice? A halberd. Now, for those of you who aren't weapon enthusiasts or medieval reenactors, a halberd is like the Swiss Army knife of pole arms. It's part axe, part spear, and all business. Picture a 6-foot pole with a nasty axe blade on one side and a spike on the other. Not exactly the kind of thing you'd want to meet in a dark alley, or a bright Ethiopian day for that matter. But why a halberd? That's the million-dollar question that's had historians scratching their heads for centuries. Some speculate it was chosen for its symbolic power, representing both earthly authority and divine judgment. Others think it was just what the executioner had lying around that day. Either way, it's safe to say Matthew probably wasn't thrilled about the choice. Now, before you start thinking this is just another tall tale from the dusty pages of history, let's consider the evidence. While we don't have any eyewitness accounts of Matthew's death, the story has been passed down through generations of Christian tradition. The earliest written account of Matthew's martyrdom comes from the Acts and Martyrdom of St. Matthew, a text dating back to the 4th or 5th century. While it's not considered historically accurate by modern standards, it does give us a glimpse into how early Christians viewed Matthew's death. But here's where things get really wild. Some scholars argue that the whole halberd story is a case of mistaken identity. They suggest that Matthew might have been confused with another apostle, Matthias, who was also said to have been martyred in Ethiopia. It's like a cosmic game of telephone gone horribly wrong. But wait, there's more. Some traditions claim that Matthew's body was miraculously preserved after his death, remaining uncorrupted for centuries. Others say his remains were eventually moved to Salerno, Italy, where they're still venerated today. Now, you might be thinking, why should I care about how some guy died 2,000 years ago? Well, buckle up, because this is where things get really interesting. Matthew's story isn't just about one man's gruesome end. It is a window into the complex world of early Christianity, where fact and legend often blurred into a tapestry of faith and martyrdom. Think about it. In a time when being a Christian could get you thrown to the lions, stories of brave martyrs like Matthew serve as inspiration for the faithful. But these stories also tell us something about the people who told them. The emphasis on Matthew's brutal death reflects a culture that valued sacrifice and steadfastness in the face of persecution. It's like the ancient Christian version of no pain, no gain, except with a lot more, pain. And let's not forget the political angle. Stories of martyrs being killed by pagan rulers served as a powerful critique of the Roman Empire and other non-Christian powers. It's propaganda, ancient style, with a side of divine retribution. But here's the real kicker. Whether or not Matthew actually met his end at the pointy end of a halberd, his story has had a lasting impact on Christian art, literature, and tradition. From stained glass windows to Renaissance paintings, Matthew is often depicted with his trusty halberd, a symbol of his martyrdom and a reminder of the price he paid for his faith. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is all fascinating, but what does it mean for me? Well, dear viewer, Matthew's story is a reminder that history is rarely as straightforward as we'd like it to be. It's a messy, complicated tapestry of fact, and everything in between. And sometimes, the most interesting stories are the ones that leave us with more questions than answers. So, whether you're a history buff, a religious scholar, or just someone who appreciates a good story about halberds, Matthew's tale has something for everyone. It's a reminder that even the most revered figures in history were once flesh and blood, facing fears and challenges we can only imagine. And who knows? Maybe someday archaeologists will uncover definitive proof of Matthew's fate. Until then, we'll just have to content ourselves with the mystery, the legend, and the enduring image of a saint, a halberd, and a story that's captivated imaginations for 2 millennia. But hey, that's just scratching the surface of Matthew's story. If you want to dive deeper into the world of early Christian martyrs, bizarre medieval weapons, or just really cool historical mysteries, hit that subscribe button and join us for more mind-blowing journeys through time. And remember, in the words of the great philosopher Ferris Bueller, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. Stay curious and inspired. We'll see you in the next video.